So I just finished this bathroom render and I thought I'd do a quick behind the scenes of how I did this, what add-ons I used, what assets I used, and how you can achieve the exact same results in Blender. One of the main features of this render was actually the wall tiles. I think it's one of the key concepts of my design. And I used an add-on called Floor Generator. You can get this on Superhive. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description. It creates all this beautiful geometry for each tile, and it does the mortar, it does the texture variation, so you're not getting all this tiling. It's phenomenal. I love it, and I actually use it primarily for timber floors. It creates all the variation, but I thought I'd just try it out for wall tiles, and I was really impressed with it. So you can check that out in the description. The next key kind of aspect of this was the floor. I used a travertine tile wall texture from Polygon. I think this is a beautiful texture with so much detail and intricacy, and when you're doing a high-end render, you really want the best materials, the best assets that you possibly can, because that's how you're going to get the best result. I ended up subdividing the floor quite a lot, as you can see, but I find that just gets me the best results that I can instead of just relying on the subdivision modifier. That's just my personal take on it, but it's definitely not the most efficient memory wise. So you might struggle to render if you've got a not as good PC specs. One of the next key features of this render was actually the Vanity. I used a material from Polygon, which I'll leave in the link in the description. I wanted something really light and airy, something that will kind of brighten the dark tile texture, and I think that this kind of matches as well with the floor. So I literally just modeled like a real basic kind of draw setup, and it's really nothing special. Just make sure you add your bevels on, and it kind of helps a lot. I'm actually really bad at beveling all my renders because it's so time consuming, but you really do notice a difference on how it actually creates all these beautiful highlights on the edges, which you can't get if you don't bevel. One of the next little areas here was the basin. I used a similar travertine tile as the floor, but it's one without the actual tile, so it's just purely a travertine seam. Moving on to the taps, I actually got these from bimobject.com. You can download them for free. I don't know exactly which one, but you can literally go on and get manufacturers' 3D models, and they just provide it for free. As well as the mirrors, I got these from the same website, and I can't remember where I got the soap thing from. I think it might have been from my 3D shaker furnishing pack. Moving on, I think the next logical thing would be looking at the water. This is a really simple... Let's wait for this to load. This is a really simple water setup. I've literally just got a glass BSDF, which is a shader, and I've got the index of refraction on 1.333, and that just plugs into the material output. And I've just got a ocean modifier. You can see the settings on the right hand side, and that's just kind of giving a little bit of movement and wave geometry, which is kind of important. And again, this little spout here, this is also off BIM Object. So that's the bath setup. And then if we move off into the shower, we're still using the same tile setup. And if we actually go in here, you can't really see all this in the render, but I've got this really cool little skylight on the side here that is just bringing some really nice natural light in. And I've got a waterfall shower head, which is also off BIM Object, which you can get for free. And I've just got a few bits and pieces in here. Like I've got this kind of recess, which, I don't know, I think it helps quite a lot just to give a little bit of functionality to the render, which is really important. So moving a bit further back, we've got this fluted glass door here, which actually goes into where the toilet is. And quite often in high-end renders, you can see that they have like a separate toilet area, even in the main bathroom. And I've just got a bit of a light in there as well. Let's just take a look inside. It's not fully worked up. So let's just change this focal length real quick. But you can see there isn't even a toilet in there at the moment, but I've just got a simple light. that I got from the 3D Shaker furnishing pack. I'll leave that in the description as well, with just a simple emission shader with a black body color temperature on it as well. The reason why I use this for my lights is because I want a real world color to the lights, and 2700K is actually like a really, really nice warm tone that I do recommend for a lot of spaces. And I've got the same one up here. I've just got that same light. And the 3D Shaker furnishing pack is actually quite, it's pretty awesome. Like you can just grab, if I go onto it, you can grab a light fixture or something. Like let's say, this is a bit random, but we could literally just bring a chair in right now, drag and drop in, and you've got an amazing level of detail for your renders. So I literally did the same thing for the lights. And I also got this really cool pendant light in front of the mirrors from the 3D Shaker pack as well. So I'll leave a link in the description for that, and there's actually a discount code so you can get 15% off. So that's pretty much the modeling and the materials. But one really key aspect of this is the render raw add-on. If I turn that off, you can see it looks a bit crazy, right? Like it doesn't look very good. So the render raw add-on, if I undo this, so the render raw add-on is basically a Lightroom sort of add-on where traditionally I do my Photoshop kind of post-production where I look at the colors and just do all the final tweaks, but you can actually do that in Blender, which is amazing. So when you're actually working on your scene, you can get the final result as you work on it. So you can get all your colors to look perfect. You've got your hue saturation value, which is incredible. Like I cannot recommend this add-on enough. And I've also got a link in the description for that. And the last step here was the lighting. So for the lighting, I used an HDRI from Polyhaven. It's called Overcast Soil Pure Sky. It's just quite nice. It gives a bit of, I guess, soft light, bounce light from the clouds. And it gives it that moody vibe that I was looking for. And that's just a really basic setup. There's no fancy area lights or anything coming in. It's just purely HDRI lighting. But it is worth noting that when you're doing a bathroom render like this, it can be really helpful to do a bit of modeling behind the camera. You can see here this is kind of where the camera is. I've got a bit of a bedroom back here with a wall and a window, and you actually end up seeing that in the reflection if we go back to the rendered view. So if we zoom up here, you can actually see this light-filled bedroom behind with a really cool image behind. And I just think it adds a lot of dimension, and I just think it's a great lighting trick because without this, it's going to be a really dark, boring render. And I think the mirrors actually provide a bit of a focal point as well. And also just with the ceiling, I used a really basic plaster lime material from Polygon as well. And yeah, you can just go on the website and download that as well. But it's just kind of minor. I did look at a few different ceiling materials, but I just thought something a bit more neutral to balance out the render is probably the best. And also the fluted glass material I got from Polygon as well. So yeah, you can just get all of those Polygon materials on the website. And yeah, that's my high-end bathroom render breakdown. I hope you found this useful. If you want to see some more of my other breakdowns or even start to finish Blender tutorials for free, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. And if you do want to share your work with me and my amazing community, you can do that for free. There's a Discord link in the description. So I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Cheers.